Alright guys, Urban Sentinel here, and I'm going to give you a quick review of my Crisco candle project. Alright, so start off right off the top. Got the tin of Crisco. Number one, it's a cardboard container with just aluminum lining on the inside, so do not put it directly on your heat source. Get a wooden ladle or a large spoon and just start scooping it into a pot. Keep the temperature at a medium to low. You don't need to boil or fry anything. You don't need a mess splattering everywhere. So medium to low heat, and just dump it in and it'll start melting on its own. You don't have to do really anything. Just sit there and scoop. Let it melt, sit there and scoop. I used a glass measuring cup that held two cups worth of liquid. I would take a certain amount of the now liquefied Crisco, pour it into there, and then pour it into my coffee can. I ran into a few small problems. The primary one was the wicks that I was using had a small aluminum tab at one end of the wick. I thought about using a small piece of wax to kind of adhere it, but I figured it'll be fine. So as I pour in, I'm holding on to the top of the wick and the liquid starts to fill. Once it got set to the level that I needed it at, I set it outside. My refrigerators are full, but it's 21 degrees out, and I had it out there. What occurred is, as the Crisco starts to cool and starts to harden, the wick itself was not set straight, which, had I taken the lid and just put a small hole in the center, I could have fed the wick through it and then put the lid on top and left it that way to cool. But that's one thing. Next is with regards to the actual Crisco itself and the wick. Once you get it in there, a little bit hard to see, the timing of when you get that wick straightened out and it starts to cool makes a little bit of a difference. This one isn't as bad. I'll still be able to get in and trim the wick because I don't need that long of a wick sticking out from here. But you want to be able to keep an eye on it. Now, I did have it outside, so I would go out about every 10-15 minutes and check on it. But overall, it probably took about an hour and a half sitting outside for it to gel up. I did make some space in my refrigerator. I had these in the refrigerator for the last 40 minutes or so, but as it is right now, both of these candles are done. I'm not going to do a burn test tonight. I'll probably do that maybe tomorrow or over the next week or so. I'd say for the size Crisco can I used, which was 48 ounces, originally I had 3 empty cans that I was going to use. It did not make enough for that. If I had measured it out exactly, I probably could have filled all 3 cans 3/4 full. But overall, this one is almost entirely full, and this one is pretty close to full. Using the groove references on the inside when I'm pouring gave me an idea of the level of what I was filling the actual can up to when the Crisco was liquefied. But the process itself, relatively easy. The only thing I would probably change is, number one, adhering the bottom of the aluminum tab that's on the wick to the center bottom of the can itself, and then making the hole in the plastic lid so after I put it in, I can slip it on top. And also too, just a reminder, when you're pouring the liquid in, you're pouring in hot grease into a metal tin. So make sure you have oven mitts or some cloth or something to hold on to, because that can is going to get extremely hot very quickly. And if you're just holding it like this, there's a chance that you may end up spilling it and then you've got hot grease all over the place. But that's it. So those are my 2 Crisco candles that I'm going to have for emergency lighting. I will probably do a couple more later on, work out the kinks that I've got. But again, it's an easy to do system. It didn't cost me, realistically, the cost of the actual coffee is the most expensive. The Crisco itself was probably less than these 2 original cans of coffee when I first got them. But that's it for now. Catch you guys later.